Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about the SIP messaging core methods. So we have two methods like core methods as well as extension methods. So these comes under the SIP messaging. Okay. So first let's discuss about the SIP messaging core methods. Okay. So as we know, SIP messages are of two types, request and response. Okay. The opening line of a request contains a method that defines the request and a request URI that defines where the request is to be sent, right? Similarly, opening line of a response contains a response code. It's just a request and response messages, right? Okay, so request methods. SIP requests are the codes used to establish a communication, right? And to complement them, there are SIP responses that generally indicate whether a request succeeded or failed. Just like this one, you have two parties. If one request is coming from this point to this point, then the other party should respond with something so that the calling party should know, okay, my message is already reached, my message is already succeeded, it is not failed, right? And then it says these SIP requests, which are known as methods, make SIP message workable. Now you can see methods. So methods can be regarded as SIP requests since they request a specific action to be taken by another user agent or server. So what is user agent or server? So like these two parties. So this side would be like whoever is initiating the request, that would be user agent client. We call both parties as a user agent, but who initiates the request, that would be user agent client, and the other one would be user agent server, right? So methods can be regarded as SIP request since they request a specific action to be taken by another agent or another server. So here you can see methods are distinguished into two types, right? Core methods as well as extension methods. Okay, got it. And then we can see it up here under the core methods. We have invite, buy, register, cancel, ACK, and the options. So these all are the core methods. We can see it up here. And that is what I am going to discuss in this lecture about these core methods. Another thing, we have extension methods as well. For these extension methods, I'm gonna discuss about this in the next video. So here, extension methods contains like this: subscribe message, notify, publish, refer, info, update, track, and the message. These are the extension method. So let's start with the core method. So first core method is, we can say, the invite message. Okay. So how the invite is used, or what is invite message? So it says invite is used to initiate a session with the user agent. In other words, I can say invite method is used to establish a media session between the user agents, right? Like these two parties, this party is sending a request, that would be a invite message. So first message would be a invite message, right? And it says establish a media session between the user agent. So these two are the user agents. One user agent is this one, another user agent is this one, right? So once the invite is going there from one end to the other end, then there will be a provisional messages or a final response, and after that, once they have a RTP stream established, then then only your media will occur, right? That's why it says establish a media session between the user agents, right? So this invite can contain media information of the caller in the message body, right? So as soon as this invite is going, it can contain the media information of the caller, right? Then it says session is considered established if an invite has received a success response or an acknowledgement has been sent. So once there is a success from the user agent server to the user agent client, that is a 2xx response, then there will be an acknowledgement from this side to the other side, right? Then we can see A successful invite request establishes a dialogue between the two user agents, which continues until a buy is sent to terminate the session, right? So successful invite request establishes a dialogue. So as soon as there is a request, so what is dialogue actually? There are three things: dialogue, transaction, and the session. So dialogue is I can say the combination of transactions, right? So that's why it says invite request establishes a dialogue between two user agents which continues until a buy is sent to terminate the session. So buy will be there after this RTP stream. Any of the party will say buy and the other party will send a response as 200 OK. So it says invite sent within an established dialogue is known as reinvite. Okay, and reinvite is used to change the session characteristics or refresh the state of a dialog. Just like in this example, you can see USC to UAS invite and it contains SDP offer. That means this is an early offer message. That's why it says invite can contain media information of the caller in the message body. Invite SDP offer is going, then 100 trying, 180 ringing, 200 OK. So here under this 200 OK, it says SDP answer. That means this user agent server already got the SDP messages from the user agent client. SDP answer is there, and then there will be an acknowledgement, and then the media session will start. Right? This is an example for the invite message, how the invite message looks like. Like here, you can see these are your things like via header, max forwards from to, and then you can see call ID and then the CSEC number, right? So from here you can see in the top it should be written it as invite message something, right? As soon as you see the traces, you will be able to see this invite message, right? And then you can see under this CSEC number as well, you can find this CSEC one invite, okay? Then contact header, allow, all these headers are coming up. Now you can see these are my SDP messages. If it is coming on the invite, that means it's an early offer, right? Content length and it says version, origin, and all other things, right? Okay. Now next method would be, or I can say a message would be buy. So buy is the method which is used to terminate an established session. And this is a request that can be sent either by the caller or by the callee to end a session. Just like this one, if there is an RTP stream already established between these two endpoints, if this party wants to terminate it, it can send a buy message first and then 200 OK will coming from opposite side. If the other party wants to end the call first, then there will be a buy message from the other party first. Like this buy message will come from that party and the opposite party will send a 200 OK message in this case. Okay. It says it cannot be sent by a proxy server, and buy request normally routes end to end. It is bypassing the proxy server. Buy cannot be sent to a pending an invite or an unestablished session. So that's why I said RTP stream is established. That means session is already there. Only then the buy message would be there, right? It cannot be sent to pending an invite. So let's suppose if an invite message is sent but the session is not established, there is no acknowledgement and all other things, that means that invite is pending. So you cannot send a buy message. It will be a cancel message if an invite is pending, right? Now here you can see buy message. Here it is written it as buy. Same way like in the invite. And then these are the headers via max forward from to call ID CSEC. Now you can see under this CSEC, this is a different. Now it says 102 and buy. Under the invite, it was 101 invite, right? Now you can see this is just the message. This is the buy message which we discussed on the previous slide. And this is the 200 OK reply for this buy message. Okay. And under this 200 OK, how do you identify this 200 OK is the reply for this buy message? It can be an invite response as well, right? That 200 OK response is there when an invite is sent. So with the help of this CSEC number, you can identify. In this 200, okay, it is written it as CSEC 102 by. That means it's a reply of that by message which was sent by the other party. Got it? Then we have a register message. So what register does? Register request performs the registration of a user agent, and this request is sent by a user agent to a registrar server. So right now here you can see this is the user agent, this is registrar server. So it is saying register without credentials, then it will get an error like 407 unauthorized or not authorized something. Then it will send in again register with the credentials. Now this user agent will take the credentials with him right now, and then on the registrar server, then it says, okay, you are allowed to register now, right? So register request may be forwarded or proxied until it reaches an authoritative registrar of the specified, right? Until reaches an authoritative registrar of specified domain. And it carries the address of record in the to header field of the user, which is going to be registered. And register request contains the time period, that is like 3600 seconds. And the SIP server usually requires authentication, and the client provides it in a following register message this same way. Like it needs authentication, and the client, this is the client it sends, like it will provide the credentials in the following register message itself, right? Now this is the like a message for register, you can see it up here, and the main thing CSEC1 register, right? So all other things like headers are same via user agent from to call ID contact, right? Now this is, you can see expires, this is the time, right? Okay. Now you can see registers. This is the method being used and what are the call headers, other things as well here in the detail. CSAC, it is the incremental counter of the session. Via, that indicates the route taken by a request, and the report indicates the SIP server to use the received port to reply. User agent, it indicates the SIP client connecting. Most devices will indicate here the manufacturer, product name, software version, and other information such as MAC address. So under this user agent, if the request is like going like, as you can see under the traces, you will be able to see most of the time it would be like Cisco call manager agent, it will be written it as, or maybe the SIP server address. So it can be anything. From, it says the identity of the caller. It is followed by a tag which must match between all messages. To, similar to from, in the case of registration, this field is usually the same as from. The tag is missing here, but will be filled up by the SIP server during the reply to the register. Whenever there is a message for register, there will be a reply as well, right? Call ID, that is a unique. Contact header, it usually indicates where the reply should go to, right? If port was not set. Allow, it indicates the methods supported by the SIP client. This is also another message, another header. Expires that desired registration duration in seconds. Like the 3600 was there in register message. Like this one here, as soon as it sends the first register, it says unauthorized. Okay, these all are the headers via from to, everything is there as here you can see. Call ID CSEC1 register. Okay, now there is CSEC1 register. And all other things are here as well. User agent, allow my PBX as here you can see. Right? Now it says 407 unauthorized. So as soon as it sends the register message, it sends the 407 unauthorized because it doesn't contain the username and password. Right? Now it will send a register message again, and then there will be a like a response from the other party. So what is this 401 unauthorized? To now includes a tag generated by the remote user agent. As you can see it up here, it generated a tag under the to message as well here, correct? So via What this via means, it includes further information such as received, the IP address from which the message has been received, and RTPO, the port from which the message has been received, right? Authenticate. Now it includes information which must be used by the sender of the register to authenticate in the following registered message. The same thing which we saw it in our first slide of this register message. And to authenticate, the client will combine the nonce with user and password information and create an MD5 hash out of them. I will show you in the trace how it will send the username and password. And allow, it includes the list of methods supported by the server. Now you can see it sends a register message again. Okay. And under this CSEC, now you can see it says CSEC to register, right? And here you can see the different headers via user agent, the same things. Now under this authorization, you can see the username is there, and then you can see this nonce, and then you can see this URI, algo, everything would be there under this authorization. Right now it takes the register message with the credentials, right? And then after a successful registration, the registrar will store the location of the client and use it for further reference. And to keep the registration active, client needs to send a new registration within the expiration timeout. That expiration timeout is 3600 seconds, right? Just like in this example here, you can see it sends a registrar message with the credential. Let's say here, registrar server stores it in the location database and it sends a 200 OK message to the phone, which sends a register message, just like this one here. Send it to the registrar send it to the location database, and it gets a response of 200 OK from the registrar server. Okay, now there are two things, 407 and 401 unauthorized. So 407 says proxy authentication required. 401 that says you are not authorized. So let's discuss about the 407. It says this error code is similar to 401 unauthorized, and the server responds with 407 error when the request from the client would be web browser or the monitoring agent, when the request from the client was correct, but access to that URL resource requires that client first authenticate itself with the proxy. Then you will get this 407 proxy authentication required message, right? And usually this means that you must log in with, like, enter username and password with the proxy server first. Now, what is this 401 unauthorized? It says this error message means user authentication is required by the responding server, or that authorization has been refused for the provided credentials with the request. If you have just entered these and then immediately see a 401 error, then it means the one or both of your username and passwords were invalid, right? I hope you got the difference between these two, 407 proxy authentication required and the 401 unauthorized. Now you can see next method would be the cancel message, right? So cancel is used to terminate a session which is not established, and user agents use this request to cancel a pending call attempt initiated earlier. Just like in this example, you can see user agent client sends a cancel request to the proxy, then it goes to the server, then there will be a 200 OK message. It's just a normal message, cancel message. But this cancel message would be there only for the pending invite. On, like, if the invite is there, no one send, like, there is no 200 OK or 180 ringing or an acknowledgement. Then if you want to disconnect the call, once you disconnect it, it will send a cancel message. It can be sent either by user agent or a proxy server. Cancel is a hop by hop request. It goes through the elements between user agent and receives the response generated by the next stateful element. Okay. Then we have next message, that is acknowledgement. Okay. So ACK is used to acknowledge the final response to an invite method. As soon as there is an invite from one end to the other end like this, there will be 100 trying, 180 ringing, and then 200 okay, and then there will be an acknowledgement from the same party like a user agent client who sends the initial invite message, right? An ACK always goes in the direction of invite. That's what I said. ACK may contain SDP body if it is not available in the invite. So if SDP is available in the invite, that means that is early offer. In the 200 OK, there will be SDP answer. But if the invite doesn't contain SDP, then the 200 OK will contain SDP offer, and then ACK would contain SDP answer, right? ACK may not be used to modify the media description that has already been sent in the initial invite. If it is in the initial invite, then it will not change anything. It will not modify. ACK method confirms that entity has received a final response. Yes. If ACK is there, that means invite reached to the other party, 200 OK reached from the other party as well. Just like this one. Invite, 180 ringing, 100 trying, 180 ringing, 200 OK. Then acknowledgement SDP answer. Why there is SDP answer? Because there is no SDP offer in the invite. That means this is a delayed offer, right? And then media session will start. And that's why it says SDP exchange in acknowledgement. That is ACK. If there is an early offer, then this SDP exchange is under this 200 OK. Okay, then you can see the ACK message here, ACK, the same headers via max forward from to call ID CSEC. Here you can see it says CSEC, that is 10692 ACK. So ACK is like neither a request nor a response. ACK is just like an individual transaction as well. So it doesn't require a response because this is neither a request nor a response. Then we have next method, that is options. So it says options method is used to query a user agent or a proxy server about its capabilities and discover its current availability, right? So if you want to query another server or maybe another proxy server or a user agent about like what all codecs you are going to use, which port number and all, which whether the audio, video, like all these things, if you want to discuss, then you can send a options message. The response to a request lists the capabilities of the user agent or a server. Proxy never generates an options request. It is a part of invite 200 OK sequence. Here, like you can see, options method would be there. It also contains via max forward to from call ID CSEC. And this contact header, like CSEC is saying this one, 63104 options, right? So why am I highlighting CSEC again and again? Because this is very important, right? So these all are the core methods which we discussed in this video. And in the upcoming video, I am going to discuss about the extensions methods, that is like info, prac, subscribe, notify, publish, refer, like these methods. I hope you learned something from this video. If you really like it, then please hit like, share it and subscribe it, and please press the bell icon so that you will receive notifications of all my upcoming videos. And if you want to schedule some time with me, you can go to this topmed.io/technical venture. You can schedule some time with me or there as well. And if you want to know something more about me or maybe something else you need, you can reach out to me on this technicalventure02 at gmail.com as well. Thank you.